Every message is welcome for here. Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. It is me, Michaela Santa, and welcome to you to my channel, Sheikh Afghan Jelebi, the Misogynist Michaela. And according with titles, today we are roasting our beautiful girl, Mary Com, and the topic is IBA Women's World Boxing Champion 2008. And now, to roasting Maricom, it is our fourth and last live streams, and you can see the points. Okay, and now here we can see Maricom continue her S word, steroid hit boxing in 2008. And here we can see that we have the several points that how Mary Kom live with steroid in 2008 IBA boxing women's championships. And now this is important because that is the calendar where Mary Kom's first son has been born. Now let's get started. Okay. Well, here you can see that is the first points. Now let's see. Here is Maricoms. Now we are talking about the Maricoms reality. It is reality of Maricom in 2008 IBA Women's World Boxing Championships. And now here we can see how Maricom contacts corruptions. Hi, Salam, how are you? Now let's see. Without now let's focus on the points. Without steroid, Maricom in any boxing match. Here, first round, Maricom get one punch and unconscious in 2 seconds. Second round, Maricom gets one punch and be unconscious in 1 second. And third round, Maricom gets three punch and get unconscious in 5 seconds. I might have to go. I know I just got. Okay, sure, Habibi. Well, now let's see. That means here we have notified that without steroids, Maricom in any boxing match, the first round Maricom get one punch and be unconscious in almost 2.5 seconds in the every round of the 3 rounds in any match. That means without steroid, Maricom could not survive in any boxing match. And now we can see that how Maricom's performance can enhance. Okay. Well, now let's see the Maricom's corruption points. Maricom provide following bribe to decorator of boxing rings, 1 trillion United States dollars per hours. And what is the purpose? Let's see. Chinese boxing gym center only for Maricom would be in Manipur, India. Okay. Now Chinese car would pick up Maricom from Manipur, India to Ningbo, China at on hours earlier at the boxing match starting at after boxing and after match at the Chinese car would pick up her to Manipur, India with the velocities of 41,000 kilometers per second with the fuel of artificial solar arc reactor with the temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666 degrees Celsius. Now here we can see that here car's kinetic power is would be 16.81 billion megawatts. Car's Maricom fuel weight, if the fuel is artificial solar arc reactor with a temperature of 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666, then weight would be 1.68 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 6.7 10 to the power negative 657 kilograms. But now, in case the Maricom's fuel is petrol, here volume is 221 liters petrols. And now, here we can see the main part is here I can notifiers. Well, the Maricom provides following bribe to decorate a boxing ring 1 billion United States dollars per hours. And let's see what is the purpose. The purpose is break 15 competitors' fitness equipment at night 1 o'clock and repair at 11 o'clock. To provide sleeping breakfast to 15 competitors, hence that they can be sleep from morning 9 o'clock and to the next day morning 8 o'clock. Provides steroid breakfast and steroid lunch and steroid dinners only to Maricoms. That is why Maricom provides bribe 1 billion United States dollars to of bribe to decorator of boxing rings. Now let's see the points. What is the big breakfast of Maricoms? The breakfast is that 360 kilograms steroid rice and 2592 liters steroid wines. And what is the lunch? The lunch is 360 kilograms steroid rice and 2592 liters steroid wines. And what is the dinners? Dinners is 36 kilograms steroid rice and 2592 liters steroid wines. And that is the points. Okay. And here we can see, let's get points. What is the rules of steroid rules for every boxers? Now let's see. The ideal punishment for Maricoms because of steroid doping policies. Here, breakfast steroid punishment is 738 billion quadrillion United States dollars per day. And the picograms of steroid cost punishment is 1 picogram steroid cost punishment of 250 million United States dollars. Okay. Now here we can see 14,760 quadrillion years imprisonment because one picogram steroid cost 5 years imprisonments. Okay. Now here we can see the points. Just for a moment. And now here we can see that is the rules of the hairs. And now here I can see that with steroids when decorators of Chinese IBA boxing rings agree to the conditions of Maricoms. Let's see with steroids what is the result of Maricoms. And here the result of Maricoms is shocking as soon as possible. L. And now here we can see that with steroids. Now here we can see Manicom in any boxing match where opponents is North Korea. Here, uh, unfortunately, I have misspells of North Korea. Let's see the proper spellings. Okay. The first four round, Manicom leads 4 is to 3 points, 5 is to 4 points, 2 is to 1 points, and 3 is to 2 points. Second 5 rounds, here North Korea leads 4 is to 3 points, 5 is to 4 points, 2 is to 1 points, 3 is to 2 points, and 5 is to 3 points. And the third 3 round, Manicom leads 4 is to 3 points, 5 is to 4 points, 2 is to 1 points. Okay, this result is just a demonstrated results. We don't know what is the proper real results. I don't know, but it is the demonstrated result with steroids, and now we can. It is the proper demonstrated results. Okay, it is the proper demonstrated results without steroid. Now let's focus on with steroids. Well, here is third rounds. And in this points, Manicom win the boxing match, any boxing match with steroids here. And a demonstrated match, opponent is North Koreans, women boxers. Now let's see, behind the victory day Manicoms. Total bribe date is October 22, 2008, and total bribe is 25 Australian United States dollars. Okay. And now, well, just for a moment, and here we can see, and here you can notify this. For breakfast, here I have shown you that what about the breakfast? For breakfast here, accordance with the steroid doping policy of IBA Women Boxing Championships, Manicom should be punished of the fines of 738 billion quadrillion United States dollars for the breakfast of what? Breakfast of October 22. And in the terms, just for a moment, okay, in that terms for I have got disturbance. Right. In that terms, here for October 22, for breakfast steroid policies, Manicom would get almost 14,760 quadrillion years of imprisonments. What is the cost? The cost is here 1 picogram steroid cost 5 years imprisonment. And here in the breakfast of October 22, Manicom consumed 2,952 kilograms of steroids. And what is the steroid? What is the calculation of steroids? That is simple. That is 360 kilograms steroid rice in breakfast, and in breakfast 2,592 kilograms of steroid wines, that is red Shangri-La steroid wines. And here we can see that is the points. Okay. Now here I would show you the proper results of the steroid circumstance of our manicoms. Now here I would go 2008 IBA World Boxing Championships. Okay, now here we can see Wikipedia's. Well, uh, now here is pin words. Maricom get gold medals else just because of steroid. And I do not know that if even if Romanian women's Steluja Dojas and North Korean women's Jong Ok and Philippines women's Josie Krabralos could get any steroid habits. I don't know because Romanian women's get silver points and North Koreans and Philippines women's gets bronze points. And now today's topic is to roast Maricom. Let's focus on Maricoms. Okay. And now here we can see it is about the steroid policies. Now let's see the steroid policies for its okay, launch steroid punishment. Okay, launch steroid punishment is 730 billion quadrillion United States dollars per day and 14,760 quadrillion years imprisonment for only for launch steroid punishment. And what about the dinner terrorist punishment? For the dinner steroid, Maricom ideal punishment would be uh, 738 billion quadrillion United States dollars in October 22, 2008 and 14,760 quadrillion years imprisonments. Okay. And now here we could notify as the significant points. Okay. Now what is the multiplication between 738? Okay. That is multiple by 3 is 2214. Okay. Now what is the multiplication between 14,760 multiple by 3? Okay. That is 44,280. Well, and now, and it is the points here we can notify this. Well, now here we can see in October 22, Maricom get the breakfast at the Maricom get 360 kilograms steroid rice and 2,592 kilograms Shangri-La steroid wines. And in this case, here in the launch of the October 22, Maricom gets contains 36 kilograms steroid rice and 2,592 kilograms Shangri-La steroid wines. And here we can see in November, in the dinners of the October 22, Maricom gets 360 kilograms steared rice, and 2592 steared kilograms Shangri-La steared wines. And here we can see here in these points the in the combinations of breakfast, dinners, and lunch, Manicom should get the accordance with the IBA's women's terror rules. Manicom's the ideal punishment for Manicom is almost 2,214 billion quadrillions United States dollars in October 22. And here we can see almost 45,000 quadrillions years of imprisonments. Here is the combinations as we can see. And now, but the irony is that Maricom bypassed the ideal punishment that was for only for Maricoms. And let's see how Maricom could do that. Okay. And here you can notify this, and here that is the significant points. Well, behind the Victory Day Maricoms, total bribe dates is October 22, 2008, and total bribe is 25 octillion United States dollars. Okay. Here. Point to be noted, milords. Here we can say for the ideal punishment for Maricoms, the combined fine punishment is 2,214 billion quadrillion United States dollars because of breakfast steroid punishment, lunch steroid punishments, and dinner steroid punishment. And in these points, okay, and here we can see the combinations of the imprisonment is 44,300 quadrillion years of imprisonments. And now, and why she get bypass? She could bypass this because she provides almost 25 octillion United States dollars to the Chinese authority of IBA Women's World Boxing Championships. And here we can see that is the notification of is. Okay. Now let's talk about the personal points. When in the interviews of in that calendars of 2008, Manicom contains Manicom was pregnant of the first child or Manicom contains, and in the same points, Manicom's get pregnant for her twice of her first child in 2008. But in these calendars, here in only in October 22, 2008, the Bismillah date of IBA Women's World Boxing Championship in 2008, Manicoms consumed 360 kilograms steroid rice and 2,592 kilogram Shangri-La steroid wines. And that is the significant points. Here I am not here to promote any Shangri-La wines, but I am here just to aware from the Shangri-La wine. And here I am here to ever from the steroid Shangri-La wines. And now let's get the points. In these points, I had Mary Com's boxing match. Uh, Here, now let's see. In, in the three times of the day, every time she consumed 2,592 kilograms Shangri-La wines. And let's see that what is the cost combinations of it. Now, what is 25 multiplied by 3? That is 75. What is 92 multiplied by 3? That is 276. That means in one day, many in the entire of October 2008, Maricom consumed almost 7,776 kilograms Shangri-La stirred wines and almost 1,080 kilograms stirred rice. And she could consume it almost only in Manipur, India, and in the before 1 hour of the boxing match, the Chinese car pick up Maricoms from Manipur, India to Ningbo, China. Hence, that here you can see here the range effect would be Chinese authority could not detect the steroid levels of Maricoms because in this times Maricoms played the boxing match in the ring of Ningbo, China, where event is IBA World Women Boxing Championships. And for the practice of the every match of the Chinese event, World Boxing IBA World Boxing Championship, practices in Manipur, India, and matches in Ningbo, China. And here we can see, here I can see you that how could it be possible? Okay. Now here we can see, now here is this distance and it is the previous points Manipur. Now here departure is Manipur, India, and the arrival is Ningbo, Ningmo, Zhejiang province, China. Okay. Now here you can see the what is the flying distance, that is 2,766 kilometers, and the driving distance is 2,022 kilometers. Okay. And here it is the possible for AIDS. And here you can notify this. That is the significant points that how Mary comes cheat her audience that she can win any boxing match only in the base of steroids. Not only steroids, but also here 2,952 kilograms of consuming steroids, where it could be in one times out of 3 times per day, where 360 kilogram is stirred rice and 2592 kilogram would be the Shangri-La stirred red wines. And what about the probabilities? And okay, now let's see what is the sum between 8 and 6, that is 14. Okay, what is the sum between 7 and 1, that is 8? That means here in the everydays here Manicom consume almost the combinations of 846 kilograms of stirred head in October 22. And here we can say where 1080 kilogram is stirred rice and 776 kilogram is almost here Shangri-La stirred wines. And that is how Maricom could win the first boxing match where the demonstrated opponent is North Korea. Okay, and here we can see the irony is that Maricom in 2025 could state that her husband has no skill in the football professions, where in 2008, Maricom in 2008, Maricom here could win the any boxing match only in the base of stirred. And now here we can see here not only Indian, Romania, North Korean, and Philippines were participate in boxing in the IBA Women's World Boxing Championships. Here we can see the several countries, and here I can show you. Well, it is the whiteboards, and here we can see. Here we could show you the participants. The participation is Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, Chinese events, Croatia, Czech Republic, England, with four boxers, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Egypt, Germany, Ireland, Latvia, Mongolia, Netherlands, Norway, South Korea, North Korea, Sweden, Switzerland, Turkey and Ukraine, Russia, and United States of America. Okay. Now let's see here. Now we are going for the demonstrate boxing circumstance. Okay. Now here we can go the points to notify this. I can, well, here is some points. Okay. Well, now here we can see. Now here let's see the opponent is Maricom's opponent country is Russia. Now let's see what is the performance. The performance is significant as we can see the points. First 4 rounds, Maricom leads 4-2 points. 5 is to 4 points, 2 is to nil points, and 3 is to 1 points. Okay, and here we can see the points. It is how Maricom leads. Uh, and it is just a word words. And now let's see in the second points here. Okay. Uh, well, here we can see here Ra, She. And on the other hand, Russian leads 4 is to 2 points, 5 is to 4 points, 2 is to nil points, and 3 is to 1 points, and 5 is to 3. 5 is to 2 points. Okay. Okay. It is the second 5 rounds. And here we can notify this. The third 3 rounds here, Maricom leads 5 is to 3 points, 5 is to 4 points, and 2 is to nil points. Okay. It is, and here Maricom wins. And now let's see behind the story of victory de Maricom. Here, total bribe date is October 23, and total bribe is almost 50 Australian United States dollars. Okay. Now here it is the points. Maricom could win the points. Okay. Now here let's see. Uh, when Maricom could win the boxing match in October 23, then our question is why in behind the victory de Maricom provides 50 Australian United States dollars because us where bribe receiver is Chinese authority of IBA Women's World Boxing Championships. And here we can see that is the significant moments here, that is the points. Well, uh, here now we can calculate only in breakfast rate at here. And now here for breakfast here we can see 2952 multiple by 2. Okay. In breakfast points, in breakfast, Maricom consume 5,904 kilograms of steroid, where 720 kilogram steroid is steroid rice, and what about the 5,184 kilogram steroid is steroid Shangri-La wines. Okay. And here for breakfast in steroid policy in October 22 and October 23, Maricom's punishment is what? 1,476 billion quadrillion United States dollars, and almost 47 Uh, 520 quadrillions preservements. Years preservements. Okay. Now here we can see that is the points. Okay. Now uh, here I would say the policy about the OKs. And in the launch steroid policy for October 2022 and October 23, here we can see Maricom conduct a launch of 720 kilograms steroid rice in launch of October 22 and launch of October 23. She contacts 24 almost 5,184 kilograms of Shangri-La steroid wines in October 22, launch of October 22 and the launch of October 23. Hence, here we can see the funds in launch of October, accordance with the launch of October 22 and the launch of October 23, only in the launch base. Manicom's ideal punishment for Manicom's is almost uh, 1,476 billion quadrillion uh, United States dollars for in October 22 and October 23. And what is about the imprisonment? The imprisonment is to 25,520 quadrillion years. Okay. And what about the lunch? The lunch is the clear-cut points. What about the lunch? The lunch is here. Oh, lunch is okay. Now what about the dinner? In dinner, here 1 picogram of steroid costs 250 million United States dollars and 5 years imprisonment. But in October, in the dinner of October 22 and in the dinner of October 23, Maricom consumed 720 kilograms steroid rice and 5,184 kilograms steroid Shangri-La red wines. And here the cost is Maricom, the ideal punishment for Maricom in the lunch of October 22 and in the dinner of October 22 and in the dinner of October 23, the ideal punishment for Maricom is almost 1,476 billion quadrillion United States dollars and 2,500, I mean 25,520 quadrillion years of the imprisonments. Now, in the inter days of October 22 and October 23, let's see that what is the points. That is very interesting moments. And here you can see the significant the points here. Okay. Now here we can see 17,000. I mean 14,760 multiple by 6 is 88,560 quadrillion years imprisonments. And what about 738 multiple by 6? Here 4,428 billion quadrillions United States dollars. Okay. Now here The points is the notifications here. Uh, now, here we can see the steroid cause the just for a moment. Okay. Now here we can notify the steroid uh, because of the steroid policies in October 22 and October 23, we get to know that the fine would be 4,428 billion quadrillion United States dollars for Manicoms. And here we can see almost 88,560 uh, quadrillion years prison means it was waiting for Maricom just because of steroid policies in IBA World Women's Boxing Championships. If steroid policies. And now when IBS Women's World Boxing Championship can stay, the idea strict punishment for Manicoms. Let's see what would be going on. The imprisonment would start from 2008 and the imprisonments would end in 88,560 quadrillion 2008 AD. And here we could see that from 2008 to 2025, that means in 30s years, and what is the last stream calendar? That is 2026. In 14 years, Maricom should be in imprisonment because of should remain in imprisonment because of the steroid policies of IBS Women's World Boxing Championship in 2008 in China, and that is the steroid mentality or crime of Maricoms. But the irony is that Maricoms bypass the steroid policies by providing the bribe of 50 quadrillions, I mean the 50 octrillions United States dollars, where bribe receiver is Chinese authority of IBA Women's World Boxing Championships. And now here we can see in 2025, Mary Com states that her husband uh, could contains no skill in football professions. That is the statements for Anlar Com by wife Mary Combs, who won the boxing match in October 23 in only in the base of almost 59,000, I mean 6,000 steroid for 2 days of October 22 and October 23. Okay. And now here I am okay, I contains very illness for the points, And here, just for a moment, I will be back. Okay. Now here, that is here the policies as soon as possible, and we can see that what is the points. Here, I feel very sick points at the moment. Okay. Now here we can see the let's go about what if. Okay. Now here we can see the moments as I feel. Okay. What if here uh, uh, opponent is United States? Okay. United States. Okay. Now here we can see what is the opponent. It would be United States. And here I think the views is downing the points. Okay. And here you can see let's point. The first round, Manicom leads almost 3 to 2 points, and 4 is to 3 points. Okay, 2 is to nil points, and 3 is to 2 points. It is the Maricom's leads. Just for a moment. Okay. But here is the first 4 rounds. Now let's see the second 5 rounds. Okay. And here we can see the points here United States. Now here we could notify as the United States leads almost uh, uh, 3 is to 2 points, 4 is to 3 points, 2 is to 0 points, 3 is to 2 points, 5 is to 2 points. And the third 3 rounds, Maricom's leads here we can see 5 is to 3 points, 5 is to 4 points, and 2 is to nil points. And here Maricom beat United States women boxers by 7 is to 5 rounds. Okay, now let's see behind the story of the victory. Here, total brief dates is recorded is October 24, and the total brief is October 75 Australian United States dollars. Now let's see the receiver is of course Chinese authorities. Well, now let's set the points. What's happened? What's going on? Okay. Now here we can see. Let's go. And here our weapon is the calculator. In the 3 days in breakfast, here we can see in October 24, in the records of October 24, Maricom contains 360 kilograms of steroid rice. That means in 3 days, from October 22 to October 24, Maricom contains almost the breakfast of 1080 kilograms of stirred rice. And here in and what about the stirred Shangri-La wine? That is almost 700. I mean the 7776 kilograms of stirred Shangri-La wines. And in this case, here we can see for only for breakfast, many comes could get almost here for 22 214 billion quadrillion United States dollars uh, and here the 44,280 quadrillion years imprisonment only for the 3 days breakfast steroid policy. And what about the dinner policy? Dinner steroid policies in the October 24 in dinner. Manicom contains 360 kilogram steroid rice and 592 kilograms Shangri-La steroid wines. And here, and in this case, the ideal punishment for Manicom is okay. Ideal punishment of Manicom is 738 billion quadrillion United States dollars in October 24 dinner only for dinners and 14,760 quadrillion years imprisonment only for the dinners of October 24 to the 2008. But if we can calculate the 3 dinners from October 22, 2008 to October 24, 2008, that is here we can see the fine would be 2,214 billion quadrillion United States dollars for us from October 22 to October 24 only in the base of dinners. And in the same times, here the imprisonment would be 44,280 quadrillion years. Has. And what about the lunch? The lunch, it is the same as uh, breakfast and dinners. And hence the punishment would be same. And here you can notify this, the significant Charlie points. Okay. The significant here 738 multiplied by 9 that is 6642. On the other hand, here 14,760 multiplied by 9 it is clear 132,840. Okay. That means here we can see in the significant moments. Okay. Here we can say the significant moments accordance with the entire days of October 22 to the entire days of October 24. Here, what is the ideal punishment is waiting for manicoms? That is here 132,840 quadrillion years imprisonments and here 6,642 billion quadrillion uh, United States in the entire 3 days only in the base of steroid doping policies. That is waiting for Manicom. But to bypass has the punishments, the ideal punishments, Manicom provides 75 octrillions United States dollars in 3 days, where receivers is Chinese authority of IBA Women's World Boxing Championship in China in 2008. That was here the points I have calculated as the demonstrated stories. Okay, now here we can see for 3 days steroid policies, Manicom's imprisonment would start at 2008 and the imprisonment would end in the calendar of 132,840 quadrillions 2008 AD. And here we can see the points. Okay. Now here 2008 subtract by 13. That means here now here 132,840 quadrillion 1995 years imprisonment, it was still waiting after waiting after 2025. That was the imprisonment that was ideal for medicoms. But now the irony is that Manicom bypassed the 3 days steroid doping policy by bribing 75 Australian United States dollars United States dollars to Chinese authority of IBA World Women Boxing Championships, and now in 2025 Manicom states that her husband has no skill in football professions. That is the statements of Manicom in the base of the steroid policy, violations of steroid policies. And now with the steroids, Manicom became biological mothers of twice twin sons in October in the 2008. And that is the surprising point, that how Manicom became the biological mothers in 2008 where she was in the base of the violations of steroid doping policies, where she took steroid almost what about the points? I forgot the calculations, and we can see 252 multiplied by 9. In the violations of 20, when she received 26,568 kilograms of the steroids. Now here in October 22 to October 24, Maricom was in the base of 26,560 kilograms steroid dewards. But the irony is that Maricom in 2025 stated that her husband is no skills in the football professions, and that is the surprising that how the steroid girl Manicom could state that where without steroids in October 22 to October 24 without steroids Manicom would be the in the incapability to survive in any boxing match from October 22 to October 24. And here, that is the surprising moments as we can see. Okay, now let's see about the points. The significant journeys as where we can see. What about the Australian girls? Okay, now here let's see. What if the opponent would be Australian in October 25? Okay. Now here you can see the response. Okay. Now here Control Z Jindabad. Now here we can see that would be Aus. Oh, Aus. Leon. Okay. Now here that can be Australians. You can notify says the significant moments. Now here first 4 round. Okay. Maricom leads 4:2 points, 4:3 points, 2:1 points, and 3:2 points. Okay. Now here we can notify, and here is the significant points. And now let's see what about Maricom's journey. And what about the second rounds? Let's see. Australian women boxing boxer. Okay. Australian women's leads that 4:2 points. On 4:3 points. 2:1 points. 3:2 points. 5:2 points. And here in the second 5 rounds. Now let's see what about the third 3 rounds. Maricom leads 5:3 points, 5:3 points, 2:1 points. That means here you can notify this Maricom win the 7:5 rounds. Okay. Now what is behind the victory of Manicoms? Now here we have mentions that October 25, 2008 and total bribes 100 quadrillions United States dollars. Here we can see. And now here I think here we can see the points. That is the significant ones. And let's see the behind the stories. Now, from from October 22 to October 25, and here let's see the significant points. Here, Let's show the consuming at the moments. That is 4 days. 2592 liter kilograms steroid wines, that multiple by 12 is here 31,104. On the other hand, here 360 multiple by 4, okay, 12, that is 4320s. And here we can see the points 31 104 sum by 4320 is, what is the point? The 4 days steroid consuming is 35,424 kilograms of the steroids. Now let's see 738 multiple by 12. What is the points? That is 8856. And what about 14,760 multiple by 12? Here we can notifications is, that is 177,120. Okay. Now here why I am calculate like this? Okay. Now here we could see that in October, here we could see that here from now you can divide 31 by I mean you can divide 31,104 by 3. That is the consume of steroid Shangri-La red wine of Maricom only breakfast of in every for breakfast. What is the four breakfast? The breakfast October 22, breakfast October 23, breakfast October 24, and the breakfast October 25. And what about the, okay, now here we can see the points, and you can see in October 25 Sheikh contains a breakfast of 360 kilogram steroid rice. Lunch is same and dinner is same. And accordance with the ideal punishments here, that is the significant moments. Here we can only in October 22. I mean only in October 5, 2008. Here we can see 22,114 billion quadrillion United States dollars would be as monetized punishment for Maricom only in October 25. And here we can see 44,280 quadrillion years imprisonment. Now here we are calculating 4 days, and here the for 4 days calculations here monetized punishment is 8,856 billion quadrillion United States dollars in 4 days. Where what is the 4 days? October 22, October 23, October 24, and October 25. And what about the breakfast punish? What about the imprisonment? The imprisonment is almost 177,120 quadrillion years of imprisonment. Now here we can see what about the imprisonment starts. Now, now here, accordance with the ideal punishment, in 14 years, Malcolm would be still in the prisons of the China. But some, but I do not why, but probably Malcolm provide 100 Australian United States dollars to bypass the ideal punishment. And now here we can see the Manicom state about her husband that he contains no skill in football professions. While the wife Manicom contacts 40 lives in the steroid of 35,424 kilograms only for the October 22 to the October 25. And this is the points. Now let's see. Here I would go about the what? Okay. Now here I would go to the final touches, and that would be the Maricom's final boxing match, where opponents is Romania, where Maricom get gold medals and Romanian women's Steloja Dujas got the silver medals. Okay. Well, in first four rounds, Maricom leads 5 is to 3 points, 5 is to 4 points, 5 is to 1 points, 5 is to 2 points. In the second 5 rounds, Romanian girl lead 5 is to 3 points, 5 is to 4 points, 5 is to 1 points, 5 is to 3 points, 5 is to 2 points. And the third 3 rounds, Maricom's lead 4 is to 3 points, 5 is to 4 points, and 2 is to 1 points. And behind the victory of Maricom's here, gold medals of Maricom's, the total bribe debt is October 29, 2008, where the total bribe is 200 quadrillion United States dollars. 200 quadrillion United States dollars. Okay. And now, let's check the behind the bribe. Okay. Now, here we can see the points 22 to 29 as the 8 days. Okay. 20 200 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 3. Okay. In the 8 days, Manicoms consume 70,848. Here we can see the points 738 multiplied by 24. And here the monetized punishment, ideal monetized punishment is 17,712. And what about 177 120 multiplied by 3? What about the present means? The present means is okay. 177 120 multiplied by 2. What is the points? That is 354,240 quadrillion years presentments. And here we can see, now here is all about the points that I have mentioned, that how Maricom is corrupt about her boxing women's world championship in 2008 in China. And here, that is the corruptions at on the peak points, and it is about her steroid corruptions where she consumed almost 71,000 steroids from October 22 to October 29. And the irony is that, notwithstanding consuming the 71,000 kilograms steroid in October 22 to October 29, in the calendar of 2008, Maricom becomes the biological mothers of twin sons. And now the irony is that Maricom states about her husband in 25 as her husband has no skill in football professions. Okay, now I can believe that probably online.com could not get no skill could get no skill about the football professions, but he is not the steroid football boy as his wife Maricom was. And that is here we can see that how Maricom is corrupt in her football professions. It was my point. Okay. Now here we can see, here is my last live streams about the Maricom about the sports. Okay. Now here I can notify this the trend of Maricom is somehow the dyings, and I will see you with the another women's. Another women's. I was left just because to roast the Maricom, and here we can see. And here in another live stream, I would say about in the live stream that would be out of the sports category, and it would be the news and politics categories. See you then. Khuda Hafiz. Love you.